Okay, so right now I'm on my way to pick up a package that I ordered a while ago. It's only arrived today. Uh, yeah. I got the package. Here it is. Hold on. Bro, this feels so fucking weird to hold, but I finally fucking got it. Listen, I ordered this shit like almost a month ago. Like, it took way too long to reach here. It was in the country like for 15 days. Finally, it's here. Like 10 days. Finally, I got a fucking trifling. It's fucking good. Okay, so what's up, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between? This video is going to be pretty different than most of my videos. As you can see, I'm in a completely different setup. I'm currently using my laptop camera and my laptop in general to record it, both the video and the audio. So I had to move like my microphone here and like download a bunch of drivers and shit. And like I didn't even have OBS on this laptop. This is a pretty shitty laptop, like really old. Like the OBS is using over 50% of the CPU just to record this. But as you could see from the intro and from the flag right above me here, I have a couple of things to talk about today about myself. I've wanted to do this video for like half a year at this point. I couldn't really find the time to do that because like I preferred to do this like more privately. So I wanted to like wait for a day when I'm like completely alone at home, and it didn't happen. So at some point I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do this in my room, and here we are. So here's how this video is going to work. I'm going to separate it to like 3 or 4 or 5 parts. Like I think 3 or 4. The first part is going to be just about a couple of stuff that are less important for me personally to come out about. Then the second part is going to be about sexuality. Third part also gender, because I need to talk about that as well. Okay, so let's start. So I am autistic and I have ADHD. It's like the level of autism that if you didn't know me well, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. Like I told a couple of kids in my class, they were really surprised. Anyway, so yeah, I was diagnosed at that, like I think actually exactly 5 days after my 8th birthday, the official diagnosis came out. And the ADHD, I actually thought the diagnosis for both ADHD and autism for me came like at the same time, but apparently I was diagnosed at like 2 with ADHD, like 2.5 years old, which I only found out about very recently. So yeah, that's about it. Now here we get to the part that made me want to make this video in the first place: my sexuality. So as you can see from the flag above me, I am bisexual. More specifically, I am omnisexual. And no, that doesn't mean I'm attracted to omni men, even though it does have some. But yeah, it has nothing to do with it. So basically, omnisexual is like pansexual, which is attraction to all gender. But the difference is with pansexual, you pretty much don't give a fuck about gender. But with omnisexual, it's like you have a preference. So me personally, I have a preference for men, mostly. So yeah. So basically, how I found that out. So I think it was 2022. By the way, for this next part, I was very unsure to say who exactly it was because we're both like in the same field of like the guitar world and shit. So I don't want, if at some point I meet the guy face to face, then it will be awkward. but I decided to tell y'all. So I think it was 2022. Polyphia released either Playing God or Ego Death. I'm not sure which one of them it was, but I'm pretty sure it was one of them. I have listened to Polyphia for like a few years by then, like a year, I think, actually. When the video for either Playing God or let's say it was Playing God, when the video for Playing God came out, I saw Tim Henson, the guitarist that is Morphems. By the way, side note, Scotty, the other guitarist, is really underappreciated. He's as good as Tim, I would say. Anyway, that aside, I saw Tim Henson and was like, damn, am I attracted to a man? It's probably like a one time thing. I probably don't need to worry about it right now. That's what we call foreshadowing. So that happened, and I just threw that aside as a one time thing. I assumed it wasn't going to come up in my life ever again. And as you can see, it fucking has. Okay, I'm just saying for this next part, I was around 6.5 years old. So last December, I actually can tell you the exact date it happened because it was exactly a week after I uploaded my live Bad Omens cover that I did. Yeah, the Bad Omens cover was December 16th, 2024. So exactly a week later, okay, actually, I'll start a bit earlier. So 6 days later, on December 22nd, I went to like a 4 day long school trip where we like slept in like huge tents. Anyway, I was somewhere like in the middle of nowhere next to like near a city that's also in the middle of nowhere, like in the south of the country, in the desert. Anyway, so yeah, okay. So second day of the trip, there was like a campfire in that place. So like a bunch of kids and a couple of the teachers were hanging out at the campfire. I looked at one of them, which again I have seen him before. I just didn't really take a good look at him, and I was like, "Damn, this guy's shredded. He's really fit." And then I realized I'm attracted to him. It didn't quite ruin the trip for me, but I was very distracted by being confused about what the hell I am for the next 2 days. So I with the very limited internet connection that I had there, because again it was in the middle of the desert, like there was barely any internet connection there. So with the very limited internet connection I had there, I did a little bit of research. It kind of helped me, but not that much. Like I did get exposed to more sexualities. Like I knew bisexuality existed. I am very glad I knew it existed and I knew what it was, because it would have been way harder to figure out what I am if I didn't know. So yeah, I did some research during the trip, like on the bus and shit, when I actually had very weak internet connection. And I initially saw the term bi-curious, which, if I'm not wrong, is pretty much just a straight person who is interested in trying homosexual activities. I think I'm not sure exactly, but that didn't really fit me. So after we got back home, I finally had good internet. So I started doing more research, and honestly, researching sexualities didn't really help me, I have to admit. So because that didn't help me, okay, the day I started questioning my sexuality was the Monday, and like we got back home on like this Wednesday of the same week. On like Thursday, I like started asking around on Reddit, posted on like r/ask LGBT, and I think also r/bisexual. I asked people like what made them 100% sure that they're bi. I didn't really find a lot of helpful answers, and I asked a queer friend of mine for advice,
he gave me permission to show it to show the messages in this video, so I'm gonna show them on the screen like right around here. But that advice, honestly, was kind of what I was already doing. So because nothing really, no advice really helped me, I decided to try figuring it out myself. So I basically like took looked at what I remember the guy from my school looked like and Tim Henson. I was like, okay, let's see what they have in common. And I remember both of them having mullets. I don't think the guy from school has a mullet anymore. I think he cut it next time. I think he didn't have a mullet literally the next time I saw him after that. He's nice. I'm still into him though, by the way. So basically, I was like, okay, I think they both have mullets. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look up people with mullets, see if I find some people attractive. Didn't really help. I was like, let's try r/mullets on Reddit. Also didn't help. There was someone who was like, okay, I'm kind of into them, but not that much. So then I looked up attractive men on Google. On Google, I honestly I was not attracted to any of them. I think it's just a thing. I don't like beards, really. I think that's why. So anyway, I also tried looking up twinks, like the word twink on Google. I opened images and like almost immediately closed it because I felt really weird. So yeah. So like nothing really helped me. So I was like, I honestly don't remember what I did actually. I think I was at some point I was like, okay, if I find two more guys attractive, then I'm bisexual. And then on Friday, like I kept researching like on my phone and like Reddit and shit. I kept like looking at stuff and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go exercise now. So I went exercising and there I actually saw a guy I was into. I was like, okay, this is good. If there's one more guy, I'm probably bisexual. Then I went back home, opened Reddit. I think literally the first post I saw was a guy I found really cute. And then I was like, yep, okay, I'm bi. So that's how that happened. I was in a little bit of denial, I think, for the next couple of weeks. I was like, okay, I'm like 99% sure that I'm bi. Like, fuck off past me. You're bi, okay? And I don't remember when I found out about the term omnisexual. I think it was a couple of days later or like a couple of weeks later. I don't remember when, but at some point I found that term and was like, oh, okay, actually that fits me a lot more. Also, I think it took me a little, a little bit more time to figure out that I also wouldn't mind, don't mind dating non-binaries, and that I'm attracted to all genders. So yeah, that's how that happened. Moving on to the next section. This part was not in the original planning of this video, because I only found this out like 3 weeks ago as of recording this video. So basically, a couple of months ago, this I genuinely have no way to remember when exactly it happened. I was like, you know what? I want to start wearing crop tops so I can look more gay. And then more gay guys or bi guys will approach me so I won't have to approach them because I'm scared of approaching people and I really want a boyfriend. And then I was like, I wonder if this is going to turn me non-binary. If it is, I'm gonna do this and this and this for pronouns because like I live in Israel, so we talk Hebrew here, and the pronouns are more complicated because almost every single word is gendered. There isn't really anything that's really gender neutral. Yeah, so I was like, if I am non-binary, I'm gonna do this and this for pronouns. And fast forward to almost exactly 3 weeks ago, I was on my way to a vocal lesson. Like my dad was driving me, and then that thought again of what I would do for pronouns if I'm NB popped into my head. And then I was like, hold on. Why do I keep thinking of what I will do if that happens? Am I actually non-binary? Over the next few days, I started feeling less and less like a guy. I went on the internet. I actually never done the "Am I gay" quiz, by the way, but I have done gender identity quizzes because I was really confused about myself. I think I was more confused about my gender than I was about my sexuality. I did a bunch of gender identity quizzes. It gave me like demi boy, which I thought was accurate. Then over the next couple of days, again, I felt less and less like a man. And then on a Saturday, I was like, I don't think I'm a man anymore. And I realized I am fully non binary. Not man at all, not woman at all, just NB. Just right in the middle. I'm going to put like a spectrum here, like a demonstration. We put like spectrum, like here you got man, here you got woman, here in the middle is non binary. I would say I'm like either right in the middle or very slightly leaning towards one side or the other. If I am leaning, I think it's like more towards like feminine than masculine. That's if I'm leaning towards any side, because I don't even know that. I don't even know that yet, and it's been a month. Not a month. It's been 3 weeks. So yeah. So I figure out I'm non-binary. Again, just like with my sexuality, I was in a bit of denial, but instead of a couple of weeks, it was just a couple of days. So now for pronouns, I've decided I'm gonna start in English. In English, I'm gonna go with they them. That's what I find the most comfortable. In Hebrew, I'm gonna say it's important for me to say that because I know I have Israeli viewers, and I know probably a couple of my family members are watching this, so I might as well say it here instead of saying it directly to them because it feels way more weird saying it directly to them than saying it in this video. So yeah, in English, I'm gonna go with they them. In Hebrew, I've actually decided to not change my pronouns because I was using masculine pronouns beforehand, and I don't know why, but I'm still kind of comfortable with it. Like, don't call me like I'm not comfortable with like being called like a king or something, bro, or like an awesome guy. But I am still comfortable with mostly being referred to with like masculine verbs. It still feels weird to me that I'm comfortable with that. I don't even know why I am. Might be because I'm used to it. It might be because it's like there in Hebrew there's also like generic he. So it's basically just using masculine pronouns as like gender neutral pronouns, like masculine verbs as like gender neutral verbs. So I don't know. There's also plural form, which is different than English because it's also gendered, and it's not fully gender neutral. It's not fully gender neutral. Most people use it for plural, and I'm not really comfortable with that. So yeah, that's what I did for pronouns. In English, they, them. In Hebrew, the same as before, masculine pronouns, just not any like masculine titles like king or something. That's basically it. Also, a little advice of how I was sure I'm gonna come out to my dad. If you're unsure if you want to come out to your parents about sexuality or gender or whatever, first ask them if they have a problem with queer people, with the LGBTQ community. That's what I did. Like right when I got back from the school trip, I asked my dad about it, and he said no, but it was like, why, do you have something to tell me? I was like, no, no. And then in my head, it was like, maybe. But yeah. So basically, if you're not unsure of whether you want to come out to your parents or not about sexuality or gender, ask them if they have a problem with the LGBTQ community. If they don't, then sure, come out to them whenever you like, whenever you feel comfortable. Don't be in a rush. But if they don't, I don't have experience in this. What I would do is wait. You should probably not take just my advice, by the way. You should probably look at other people's advice. But if they do have a problem with the community, what I would do is wait until I know I can live somewhere else in case they kick me out. So that's a little bit of advice for coming out. Again, don't just listen to it. Look at other people's advice and stories before decide what to do. Anyway, so yeah. Do I have anything else to add? Oh, by the way, that intro of the ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, I actually I thought of it like at around like early June, before I started questioning my gender. It just so happened to be that the first time I used it is after I knew I'm non-binary. Also, update on the channel. You're not gonna get a lot of videos soon because I have a problem with my screen. So I need to get it fixed before I can actually record videos. So we're gonna get a bunch of mini song reviews, like as shorts. I already recorded one for the new Muse song. I still haven't edited it though. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so editing me right here. I forgot to mention it in the video, but I'm gonna start putting a link to the Trevor Project, which is an LGBTQ plus charity, at the description of all of my future videos. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.